I was sitting here this morning in our housing society and we were actually welcoming the local Aam Aadmi candidate with a feast of chole bhature, gulab jamun and poha. And I'm not kidding you, I can't make this stuff up. I turned to my right and I saw that new security cameras had been installed here. I went up and inspected them and I found out they're from the Delhi government. The Aam Aadmi Party has installed 16 security cameras around our private housing complex. Our housing complex has security guards. It has a huge wall with barbed wire around it, and we have our own private CCTV system. So why does the government need to put 16 CCTV cameras on our private property and watch us? They've even installed these cameras on the temple, outside the temple. Can you do that? Can you just go up to a temple and bolt cameras onto it like that? That's just wrong. And that's when I found out that the Delhi government has been installing 300,000 of these security cameras all around Delhi, in public, but also in people's private residences. Outside in public, I get it, right? We need more security cameras out there watching people on the streets. But inside this private housing society with no crime and our own CCTV and our own security and our own wall, there's no crime here. There's no reason for these 16 cameras to be in here. And the benefit of having our own CCTV system in this society is that only we have access to it. Of course, we give the footage to the police if something happens, right? But nothing ever happens here. This is a private community. And so the risk with having all these government security cameras in here, all 16 of them, is that the PWD, the Public Works Department, has access to these cameras now. The police have access to these cameras. And of course, the intelligence agencies have access to these cameras. And do you think they'll be misused? This is India. Of course they will be misused. How can you install these private spy cameras, these government spy cameras inside a private housing colony like this when we already have so much security here and there's no crime? It makes no sense and it's a complete waste of money. I know a lot of people will say, Carl, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have to worry about it. But I have to worry about it, you know? As a public figure, as somebody who makes a lot of enemies, the government can easily track me now. If someone doesn't like me in the government and they want to take me down, they can literally follow me from my doorstep, and the second I step outside of the housing complex and get into my car, they know I'm there and they know where I'm going. Anywhere I move inside this private housing complex, they know my location, absolutely. And now, so the police have access to these cameras too. And as you know, there's often a nexus between criminals and police. There's a lot of corruption there. So if a bad guy wants to, find out when I'm leaving the premises, when I'm leaving the housing society, he can just wait outside the gate for me, right? The police can tell him my patterns, my movement patterns, and tell him on the day exactly the time I'm gonna leave, It's just so risky. And mark my words, all these security cameras being installed around Delhi, especially in private residences, they will be used for corrupt purposes. That is just the way it's going to happen. I absolutely guarantee you. So that's the risk for someone like me, right? I value my privacy and I have to, because I get threats against my life. And it's not that hard to find a friendly cop and, plug into these CCTV cameras. And then you don't know what the security around them is. You don't know everybody who has access to them. It's just a bad thing. And the Indian Constitution, it guarantees us a right to privacy. And installing government spy cameras inside a private housing complex, that is going against the Constitution. I'm so sure of it. And then what about when they decide to install facial recognition software on these camera systems? And then they decide to rate us according to our behavior out in public or in the society. This is already happening in China. They have a rating system for their residents, and the government knows the location of everybody in China through this massive mesh of security cameras that they've installed. It's become a surveillance state. I don't think that will ever happen in India though, India is quite liberal and it's not a dictatorship, right? So I don't think that'll happen, but it's just a scary thought. I mean, the thought of the intelligence agency and the police and the bad guys being able to access where I am and when I leave and all that kind of data on me through these security cameras, that's scary enough for me, right? So I'm not happy about this privacy invasion, If you guys have these cameras in your housing societies, you are being watched. Your every move is being recorded, okay? And I know the Aam Aadmi Party says this is to stop crime against women. What crime? There's no crime in this little private housing society. And how's it going to stop crime anyway? If someone decides to come here and lynch me, it's not going to do anything. The Delhi police are going to have a video of me being lynched in here. Wow, great. We already had that on our private security camera. But I guess it means they can leak it even quicker now. Yeah, it'll stop people doing stuff, perhaps. It'll scare criminals away. But we already had security and private CCTV here anyway. So criminals aren't coming here and doing anything because they know we already had that security. So now we just have these random government cameras here. For what reason? Absolutely no reason. They're only here to spy on people. And it's a total waste of money because they're unneeded in this particular housing society. What is the Aam Aadmi Party doing here? Spying on the Aam Aadmi and wasting the Aam Aadmi's money by installing these cameras in the worst places. There's better places, there's more places that we need these cameras, alright? So please, Aam Aadmi, use your brains. I like you guys. I support you guys, but I don't support this. You guys need to think of better placements for these security cameras. Why are you spying on the Aam Aadmi, on the common man? They need to be out on the streets looking for crime. There's no crime happening here. We have security under control. Stop wasting people's money.